Chloe sits cross-legged on her attic studio floor, surrounded by half-finished canvases, a single lamp casting golden light across her face. A tiny paintbrush is twirling between her fingers, bristles still wet with cadmium red. Her voice is soft, conspiratorial, alive with memory. The sage-green wall behind her glows like a living thing. You guys will never believe what happened. I'm Chloe. No last name. Just the girl who paints Cresthaven's soul onto canvas. And this story? It started with a wall I hated, a can of paint I couldn't open, and a man who showed up with a roller and a calm that made my studio feel too small. It was one of those perfect afternoons where the lake glitters like crushed glass, and the air smells like warm bread and possibility. I'd decided, finally, to repaint the north wall of my attic studio. The old beige had been mocking me for months, sucking the light out of every canvas. I wanted change, a new color, a fresh start, something simple. I posted on the local Cresthaven board, painter needed. One wall, cash paid, no weirdos. Everett replied in under an hour. Retired horticulturist turned painter. References available. Can start tomorrow. His profile pic was a selfie in front of a greenhouse. Salt and pepper hair, green eyes, khaki shirt sleeves rolled high. He looked safe, capable, older. I hired him on the spot. He showed up at 9:03 a.m., 3 minutes late, but carrying 2 coffees and a smile that made the delay forgivable. Black with a splash of oat milk, he said, handing me a cup. Figured artists run on caffeine and chaos. I laughed. You're not wrong. He set his tools down, drop cloths, rollers, a can of the exact sage green I'd picked, and got to work. I tried to paint, I really did. But the room filled with the scent of fresh paint and him, cedar, faint coffee, something earthy from the greenhouse, and I found myself watching. He moved like he'd done this 1,000 times. Steady strokes. No wasted motion. The roller glided over the wall in perfect even lines, transforming beige into life. Flash of thought. This is what I paint. This exact moment when color meets blank space and something new is born. Hey guys, I said suddenly, breaking the fourth wall with a grin. We're about to get into the spicy portion, so please don't forget to like and subscribe. I turned back to him. He was on the ladder now, reaching high, shirt riding up just enough to reveal a strip of tanned skin. I swallowed. Focus, Chloe. You always this quiet on the job? I asked. He glanced down, green eyes crinkling. Only when the client's watching, like she's memorizing me for a portrait. Heat flooded my cheeks. I'm not... You are, he said, voice low and amused. It's okay. I'm flattered. The air shifted. Thicker, warmer, dangerous. I busied myself with a canvas, but my brushstrokes were shaky. He kept painting. I kept watching. First parental scare. My phone buzzed. Mom, lunch at 1, bring your painter friend. I silenced it. Not today. He stepped down from the ladder, wiped his hands on a rag, and surveyed the wall. First coat's done. Needs another in an hour. I nodded. Coffee refill? He smiled. Lead the way. We ended up in the kitchen, too close at the counter. Our fingers brushed reaching for the same mug. Electric. You're good at this, I said. The painting. The calm. Years of coaxing orchids to bloom, he replied. Patience is a skill. I leaned against the counter. What else are you patient with? His eyes met mine, held. Things worth waiting for. Second scare. Dad's truck rumbled in the driveway. We froze. Hide, I hissed. He ducked into the pantry. I slammed the door. Dad poked his head in. Thought I'd grab a sandwich. You okay? Fine, my voice cracked. Painting. Dad left. Everett emerged, rag over his shoulder, grinning. Close call. Third scare. Mom texted a photo. On my way with sandwiches. We bolted back to the studio. The second coat went on slower. We talked. He told me about the orchid that only bloomed at night. I told him about the canvas I couldn't finish. Our voices tangled. Our fingers brushed again, deliberate this time. Fourth scare. Mom's car. We dropped the roller, hid behind the easels. She poked her head in. Chloe? Sandwiches. Be right down. She left. We exhaled. Fifth scare, Dad again, in the studio. We scramble into the closet. His body pressed to mine, close, warm, heartbeat to heartbeat. Dad's flashlight swept. Missed, door shut. We stayed, breath sinking. His hand found mine in the dark. Chloe, he whispered. This is... I know, I breathed. I choose. Sixth scare, Mom's voice from the hallway. Chloe, I left the sandwiches downstairs. We freeze again. He mouths, she's persistent. I mouth back, you have no idea. We wait, footsteps fade. Seventh scare, Dad's phone rings, loud, in the studio. He'd left it on the windowsill. We dive for it. Everett silences it. Caller ID, Mom. We laugh, silent, shaking. Moonlit studio. 5 full circuits of the room. Hands brushing, grazing, holding. Paint cans clink like secrets. We name every brush stroke. That's the sage that looks like sea glass. That's the drip that looks like a tear. That's the streak that looks like a heartbeat. And with every name, the room feels ours. We talk in whispers. He tells me about the greenhouse he lost after his wife died, how he started painting walls to fill the silence, how every color he mixes is a memory. I tell him about the fear that my art will never matter, that I'll never matter. Our voices tangle, our fingers lock. This is more than attraction. This is connection. Dawn creeps through the skylight. First light spills over the wall. He steps back, admires his work. The sage green glows, but his eyes are on me. The wall's done, he says. I step closer. So are we? He pulls me close. We're just starting. I do. Until the sun burns the shadows away. Until his thumb traces my cheek one last time. Until he whispers, your color's deeper than any paint, Chloe. And I know. This is the story I'll paint. This is the story I'll live. Chloe leans into the camera, fairy lights soft. Her voice is raw, cracked, alive, and that's how painting a wall became the day my dangerous desires added color. Cresthaven's got a way of making moments bloom, doesn't it? If you loved this story, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more Chloe's Dangerous Desires. What's next for me and Everett? Stick around. See you in the next one.